All right, I'm recording. Hey everyone. Uh, it is 1:03 a.m. It is January 1st, 2026. Oh, uh-oh. Just put that back there. God. How does it feel? It's uh, now that 2025 is over. Now let's talk about my plans for this upcoming year. I've got a little candle light is the lighting for today. Uh, I'm going to keep it a bit dark just so it's a bit more of a chill vibe. And I'm just going to talk about the upcoming year and my plans for it. Um, so, 2025 was an extremely hard year for me. Without going into it too much, um, it's just when you live your life, you have like the base level shit that everyone knows about. You do your job, you do your school, you do your whatever the hell, and you slowly work your way through the ladder, work your way through life and everything. And, it's. Don't want to blow that out. Um, as I've been going through the motions of like climbing the music ladder, working on my degree, I've just slowly kind of uh, shit has happened a lot in my life recently. Family shit that I'm absolutely not going to talk about just because it's extremely personal shit, and multiple people almost died in my family this year. Two people very close to me. And it's it's made me reevaluate a lot of life plan shit. Um, Without going too into it, within the foreseeable future, basically, for one person for the next few years, and for the other person, basically until they are gone, which could be as much as a decade, could be 20 years if they live ridiculously long. Um, but, God. Um, so my future plans have always been very very set in stone for me. It's always been finish up my degree, or when I was in high school, it was go get my degree in music and then see what happens. Ooh, fuck, that was awful. But now that I'm in college, it's finish up my degree uh, in my fourth year, and this semester, the second semester, my third year, work on finding a good master's program that'll take me and do all that. Um, uh, it's just, I've had a very concrete life plan for myself. The plan has always been work on my bachelor's, finish up my bachelor's, and I'm on track to do that within a year and a half. And I've been very steady and steadfast in my plans, is what I'm saying. And I'm starting to hit a point where external circumstances fully out of my control are kind of making my plans less realistic. Um, the shit with my family, it's becoming more and more of a preventative. And it's nothing against my family. It's honestly against like the society we live in, where in the U.S. the healthcare system doesn't care about you, and both of the people that I'm gonna have to be here to take care of and keep an eye on, both of these people are in desperate need of healthcare. Um, One is a more mental thing, and I'm trying to keep it. Actually, I already talked about it in previous videos. I don't want to like lambast the people in my life, but I the problem is their shit affects other people, is the issue. And I'm not lambasting these people, but two people, I'll just say it, my brother and my grandmother. My grandmother, I want to be around for her because she's getting older. I mean, hell, she's 76 this year. Within And the people in her family have lived long lives, and she's healthy. She's absurdly healthy for her age. Like, the amount of shit she does for a 75-year-old, oh my god, it's fucking crazy. But she turned 76 in about a month, and, she's getting older. And as she's getting older, I'm seeing not a health decline, but like the very early stages of a health decline where she can still do everything. She can still live competently on her own. She can still do all that. But it's starting to become. It's weird because I'm kind of just over exaggerating the issues. It's just there's very, very, very early signs of her getting older. She's older. She complains about pains for longer and things like that. And she's had heart issues earlier in the year that are more serious. And to be frank, I want to keep an eye on her. I want to be able to. That was a big limiter when deciding my plans for like master's degree and shit. Effectively have to be able to commute home on weekends. It's not an option. It's required because if my grandmother were, let's just say, I can't be down here for, let's just call it 2 months at a time. Semesters, especially in grad school, are going to be a lot shorter and are going to be a lot, or not shorter, but are going to be a lot more. I'm going to have like more free time to be able to drive home and that kind of thing. But basically, I'm going to need the ability to come home whenever I need to. Not every day, but like I would say realistically, I've talked to some of my friends who are also getting master's degrees in music. One of my best friends, honestly, yeah, my two best friends they're both entering their masters in music. They're both in their first year of it, and both of them have 3 to 4 day a week workloads. But like, they also have some classes online and shit. And basically, I'm gonna have to find a program that is either fully online or in person most of the time with mix of online and or sorry I can't really do a fully online just because I'm a performance major, music performance, so I don't really have a choice in the matter of online versus in person. I don't If I want to get good and get a job one day in music, then I have to go I have to go in person. It's not a choice. And I don't know of any online. Let me Google this actually. I don't believe there are any. I've looked before and I couldn't find any, but masters in music performance online. I don't believe this is a thing. See, plenty of colleges offer a music degree that is online, but all of them are education, and I'm not, I'd effectively have to entirely change career paths, and I can't justify doing that. It's just, the shit with my family, I want it to be a delay in my life, not a full change of career and complete fucking over, Um, just scrolling through the computer, I'm seeing a few things that are online, but I'm just going to have to look harder, honestly. I'm going to have to search hard as fuck to find anything online. Hmm. Ugh, God. But having a performance program online is going to be hard to find, and it's going to be practically impossible for me to do and actually improve in skill and shit. So my options are entirely swap career fields, which fuck no. It sucks trying to be empathetic to family members. I haven't even gotten into the shit with my brother yet, but it sucks trying to be empathetic to family members, trying to look out for the people you love, and having it completely fuck your own life. Because the reality is, I unfortunately am looking at a kind of divergence here. I have the option to either say, fuck you, figure your own shit out and fully pursue an in-person master's and not worry about this shit, or I delay my life by who fucking knows how long and either change career fields, which would be not great for me, not something I want. Uh, I'm at a crossroads in life, and I'm kind of fucked. Um, there is a third option, but it's one that's going to be very difficult to do or convince. I have two brothers. My oldest brother is about 35, and my older brother, who's like the middle kid, he is 30. And the 30-year-old, he is the one that's been having issues recently. I'm not going to go too far into his issues because they are very extreme, life-threatening shit. He's in rehab currently. He's struggled with meth abuse for close to a decade at this point. Pretty much since one of his kids was born, he was kind of on that shit. And he's fucking up his own life. And one of the big reasons I have to be around in the foreseeable future is he is in rehab currently, and it seems like he's giving it an honest go of trying to be a good person, trying to get better. But the shit he's done before, because he's relapsed before, he's done this fucking song and dance before, and the shit he's done is ridiculously violent. And to be frank, when he gets out of rehab and is in early recovery, he will likely be living here at my grandmother's house. And if I were to leave the two of them alone, I do not trust him to not physically assault her. I hate that have to say that about my own brother, but I can't fucking trust him. He has assaulted people before. He has fucking attacked people before. He's harmed himself. He's harmed others. This is not a safe man to be around. But because my grandmother is a loving person, a caring fucking family member who actually loves him, she is always willing to open up her home to him. And as much it fucking pains me to say this, but I think I could show her irrefutable proof that he would kill her today if he came in, and she would just be like, I don't believe it. And I love my grandmother, but she's very fucking stubborn in that way. And we all are. I mean, I guess it's some fucking genetic trait or some shit where I am a stubborn son of a bitch. My mom's a stubborn son of a bitch. My dad was a stubborn son of a bitch. Everyone in my family is a stubborn fuck. And I'm hitting the point in my life where, like, I've hit one of those points in life where, being stubborn has extremely benefited me throughout my life. Being so fucking steadfast in who I am, what I believe, it's been really good for me, really important. And now I'm hitting a point where I have to fucking meet my maker of it, where my grandmother is someone who is... Damn, they're shooting off big-ass fireworks right now. Let's see if I can... it's just the noisemakers, it's not the actual lights. But, with my grandmother, I'm effectively seeing someone who is equally stubborn as me. And it's gonna fuck me. It's gonna fucking ruin my life if I don't absolutely... I'm trying to find a way around it, but frankly, I don't see another path. My options are let my life be ruined by a fucking druggie's incompetence, or let my family fall to ruin and potentially put an elderly woman in danger. Those are the options. There's a third option. I've talked to my oldest brother, who's 35. I've talked to him. He's in a very stable life. He works an office job. He works online for the most part, and he's always been very, he's a great guy. You know, I looked up to him a lot as a kid, and it's just, he's always been very separate from family drama. You know, I mean, we all came up in this family of fucking druggies and retards, and he escaped it. You know, he lives like a generic office life, and it is. I mean, to be frank, with the upbringing we all had, the most chaotic, insane, addiction-filled fucking cesspit, it is it's admirable. He has effectively in his mind the perfect life. He has an office job doing what he loves. He works like 20 hours a week, making like 100 grand a year. It's fucking crazy. And I think my options are I think my options are like beg him to come up here and keep an eye on all this shit, which isn't really fair to him because you know, he escaped all this shit. Me and my middle brother, we didn't. We're fucking stuck here dealing with this shit. And as much as my middle brother is now part of the problem, you know, he's still like a child of this environment. And I'm still here having to deal with this shit. And to be frank, I need to get the fuck out of here to improve my own life. And I think I'm just going to have to call up my brother sometime in the next semester. Definitely before I graduate college, but realistically, some point in this semester and my fourth year of college, I'm just going to have to call him up and say, hey, you have to be here when I'm gone. Because my grandmother is a kind, loving woman, and she doesn't deserve any of this fucking shit. She's, as much as, almost extinguished the candle. I'm going to push it further back. As much as, you know, I talked about her being stubborn and wanting, you know, she's stubborn and wanting to give a home to her grandson who's going to be in recovery for realistically the next few years. And this is assuming my brother's life goes well. He adapts to rehab well and gets through it. And all of those are very if scenarios. There's a few options for what could happen in the upcoming future. My life aside and what I choose to do, where I choose to go, and how I choose to react, there's effectively 5 people in this situation. There's me, my 2 brothers, my grandmother, and my mother are the only close family members who are going to be... Damn. I'm going to open my blinds so I can watch the fireworks. They're shooting off fucking big ones, man. But, and the minute I open them, they fucking stop. Damn. I needed to get a laugh. But, look, but my mother is kind of the source of all this bullshit. You know, my dad, he struggled with drug use too when my brothers were kids, but I mean, he was a good parent to me, and he's long dead. And but my mother has been slowly going off the deep end with her own addiction, and it's a whole thing, but she's mostly sticking to herself these days. And my middle brother, he's dealing with meth addiction and kind of an alcohol addiction, but meth is like the more visible, dangerous one. And to be frank, I'm fucking scared of the guy. He has hurt people before. You know, he's hurt himself recently. That was part of why he's in rehab, and he ended up. God, I'm trying not to leak enough so you can like find me, find him, find whoever. You know, don't fucking do that. By the way, this is like, I'm coming here for advice, not a leak of my entire life. Oh, they shot off some more, but I can't see them. Ah, well, but it's just this guy is dangerous, and before when my grandmother, oh God, I I'm trying to lay out everything about this so you can see how fucked I am. Back in 2024, I think it was, yeah, it was 2024. It would have been, I think it was in November, maybe? My brother, he came over here, or was it in, I don't fucking remember. It was some either late 2024 or like early 2025. My brother came over here, walked God knows how many miles in blistering fucking heat, high on meth. He walks in the door and he's fucking tweaking out. He's saying all kinds of crazy shit. And my grandmother, she is almost deaf. And because of that, she can't hear what he's saying. And she's not, like, aware enough of his speech to recognize how out of it he is mentally from drugs. And he's so high. He's talking about astral projection. He's talking about someone in our family, our mother, is, like, plotting to kill him. He's talking about fucking skinwalkers and shit. And I saw a little red firework there. That was pretty. But, I mean, to be frank, he's spouting pure fucking nonsense. You could tell from, like, his eye movement and his body language, this is a man close to fucking snapping. This is, in that moment, I saw his eyes, and I knew, like, if we didn't get him out of the house, he was probably going to kill someone. It's unfortunate that I have to think that about my own brother, but, you know, what fucking choice do I have? I love him. He's my brother. When he's sober, he's a great guy, but he gets on meth and he is just dangerous. He is a genuine danger to himself and others. You have to use literal fucking therapy diagnosis. Like, I'm going to close the blinds now because I'm getting paranoid. Oh. Hey, they shot up a pretty one. But, it's just this, you're like the guy. Let me restart that sentence. God damn. The guy is such a genuine danger to himself and others that it's just not fucking safe anymore. You know, he's been to jail. But that story about him coming over high, my grandmother, she's like almost deaf, and she just couldn't tell what he was saying. And, you know, body language and eye movement, I mean, without the words behind it, it's, you know, you can tell the guy's going crazy if you hear him talking about astral projection while he's sitting there fucking mean mugging you like, oh. Yeah, that too. But when he's, oh god, her hearing is bad enough that, like, she basically had zero context for what he was talking about. And my brother's always been an out there guy who's... Dude, I fucking hate bottle rockets. I heard the whistling and thought I was going crazy. But, it's just... My brother is such a fucking out there dude that... Like, that type of shit. Like, weird body language, weird, crazy fucking eye movements, like that type of shit is damn near, like, par for the course for him. And to be frank, I'm not saying all this shit to, like, you know, downplay my grandmother's, like, competence as a person. You know, she's fully there, fully competent, but, like, if I didn't have hearing, it would be hard for me to tell the guy's fucking cuckoo. But, like, so we're effectively in a place where, like, I have to be around because I can't trust him. I can't fucking trust my brother. He's fucking smoked meth and came over here before. I can't trust that. And I can't trust my grandmother to accurately see and diagnose is the wrong term, but, like, see and assess his mental health on, like, a viewing. You know, I can't trust that. And because of that, I am effectively left at a point where my options are my grandmother letting my brother move back in with her he lived here for about a month early on in the fall semester this year. He lived with her for a bit. He went to jail over the summer. He got out. Hasn't even faced charges yet. He's going to be in court at some point. He's probably going to face jail time for everything he did. I don't know. But while he got high it was in April of 2025. I remember now. When he came over here tweaking out, I was basically just pushing for him to get the fuck out of the house, but in a subtle way. I was like, "Oh, mama, don't you want to go get like something to eat, right?" Or like just some way to get this guy out of the house because there are plenty of like guns and knives and shit in the house, and we don't want this fucking guy anywhere near any of this. And we ended up getting him food and just dropping him off at where he lived at the time at our mom's place. And in retrospect, that was a dangerous thing to do. My mother, she's an awful person, but I don't want her to get murdered by a fucking meth head. I don't want my brother to like be tweaking out so hard he fucking kills her, which is something that might be in his deck of cards. I don't know. And the fact of the matter is nobody can know until it's too late, until it's already happened. But in the moment, we were just pushing to get the guy the fuck out of our house. And then he ended up going back in. And the next day, I don't know if he got smoked again or what, but he assaulted our mother. She was fine. She got out of the house, called the police very quickly, but it was still a very close call. What if she hadn't gotten out of the house? She'd be dead. And my grandmother she's not seeing the severity of it. I get that every parent, every grandparent, to an extent, has the like, oh, well, they're just my little baby. Your son's a fucking monster who's gonna kill you. That's the reality of it. Is this guy is a fucking powder keg ready to blow. He already has multiple times. He's blow, but he's already done multiple truly unsafe actions that are, frankly, it's a fucking miracle someone's not dead. And if him going to rehab, which he's currently in, if that goes well, if he goes through the rehab process, gets fully healed, gets whatever the fuck goes through recovery, even if all that happens, I don't fucking trust the guy. Would you? Like, no. Don't fucking trust this guy. This guy's fucking cuckoo. And I can't seem to get that through my grandmother's head because she's also close to the situation. She watched him being, like, growing up and shit. And frankly, she sees all three of us siblings as, like, abused kids. She sees the way all of us were harmed as kids. And she sees that instead of seeing the reality of the situation. Like, it's the thing about, like, generational trauma where, like, yeah, your parents probably suffered crazy abuse at the hands of their parents. That doesn't excuse what they're doing now. That doesn't excuse what, it's the same concept where the harm done to you doesn't justify harming others. And I think my grandmother can't see that. And I honestly don't think she sees the threat. Because I remember this was the second day I had moved back to my dorm for the semester, for the fall semester. I got a call from my grandmother. Damn. It's a fucking big one. Jesus. I could see it through, like, the shutters. But, I got a call second day of the semester from my grandmother, and she was like, hey, your brother's coming back home. He's here. Like, he is in the house with me. And I remember hearing that, and the amount of fear and fucking terror and adrenaline that ran through my fucking blood, that was probably the single scariest night of my life. Because I remember thinking, he had literally gotten out of jail and walked 20 miles to our house. fucking crazy amount of walking. He walked for, I believe, like 12 hours because the jail let him go at about midnight. I believe it was something to do with, like, they can't hold you 30 days, something like that. I can't remember. But he hit the limit on the number of days they're allowed to hold him before any trial or any sentencing or anything like that. But he hit the limit, so they let him out. And he walked about 20 miles through the entire night. And hearing how he had done that, my immediate thought was, oh, fuck. You know, that type of endurance to walk 20 fucking miles without stopping, by the way. Because, I mean, to time it out, like, the walk from the jail to this place was right at a 9 or a 10 hour walk. And that's about, like, from the time he got out, let's just say he got out at midnight. It's a 10-hour walk. He got here at, like, 10 a.m. exactly. Bro. To hear, like, oh yeah, I walked 10 hours straight, that's the type of shit someone tweaking off of fucking meth would do. Like, it just doesn't make sense for any regular-ass human with regular human endurance. And, you know, granted, humans can do crazy shit when they go through, like, insane adrenaline rush and shit like that. Oh, fuck. But, you know, what I'm trying to say is, like, hearing all this shit about, like, he's back, he's in the house with me, he's sleeping right now, I remember getting that call and just feeling a sheer fucking terror. It was, I genuinely don't think I've ever felt a worse fear in my life. And that night, I tried to record, I couldn't even fucking do it, that's how scared I was. I recorded about 45 minutes before I cut it and just deleted the recording of me just effectively saying goodbye to everyone I knew, because my immediate thought was either I'm going to go home this weekend and my grandmother's going to be dead and my brother's going to be in the house high, or I'm going to get home this weekend and I'm going to have to fucking fight him. I'm going to have to kill him, because it's not an exaggeration either to, like, say I was genuinely going to have to consider murder. Because, to be frank, you know, unless you've seen this shit in person, you don't get how deadly, how fucking terrifying this shit is. And murder may sound extreme, and it is. It's an extremely terrifying, callous thing to do, and you should never, ever fucking do it. But to see the damage this man has done, to see, frankly, the harm that he could do if left, how do I put it, if left, like, unchecked, it was becoming an increasing fear that it might be necessary to either incapacitate him and do whatever I have to do and, like, call the police and shit, or, frankly, I was scared that when I got home, he would be high and I'd have to shoot him. That's extreme. That is fucking terrifying. No one should ever have to fucking consider that. But, I mean, to be frank, the man had assaulted our mother previously. The man had fucking beat up his wife, like the 3 times he's been married, he's beat up all of his fucking wives. It is not an exaggeration to say I thought this man, I sincerely thought it was going to be a kill or be killed. I hate that it was to that degree. I told my grandmother multiple fucking times while I was on the phone with her, call the police, get him out of your house, do not trust him. And because she's a kind, caring woman, she was just like, no, he's fine, dear. And to be frank, that right there is why I don't trust her. Not because of, you know, her hearing or any of that shit. You know, that's not helping. It doesn't help that. I think her own, like, not delusions, but, like, her own beliefs about the man and her own, like, you know, the hearing combined with that, frankly, it just makes it unsafe. It makes it's never safe to be around someone like that, like my brother. But it's even less safe when you can't accurately assess if he's a threat. And that's the state my grandmother's in. And, you know, mentally she's there. I think she realistically just doesn't want to accept it. I think she just doesn't want to accept who he is, I mean. You know, and I fucking hate to do it. I hate to, This is my brother we're talking about. I remember being a kid and like playing Warcraft with this fucking guy. Like, it. He's him being like possibly being a murderer. He is a murderer in the making, I think. Unless rehab seriously fucking changes him, it's going to be this. It's going to be time and time again, this after this after this. It's going to be scenario after scenario where people I love are put in danger, where my grandmother is put in danger, where my mother is put in danger, where everyone in my life is continuously put in danger by this man, and nobody is doing anything to act against him. And that's the scenario I find myself in. And when it comes to college shit, I mean, it's not even about college anymore. It's just, I can't live my life. I can't safely and happily continue on my day knowing that the people in my family, the people I love, are in danger. The people I love are going to be at a genuine risk if I am not there. And I get that this is all very extreme, and I apologize if you expected a light-hearted video, but it's just, I'm at a point in life where I'm not a provider. I'm not a fucking family gal. I'm not some fucking 1940s husband come home from work. Hey, honey, how are the kids? That's never fucking been me. But I'm in a position where I am forced to effectively be head of household and keep a fucking eye on all of this. Not head of household, that's like protector of household. Like, I'm effectively in a scenario where I'm forced to fucking keep shit down. And if I leave for even a week, even 2 weeks, hell, even living in the dorms this semester and coming home every weekend like fucking clockwork, even that did not feel safe. I'm stuttering now because I'm so fucking angry, because I love my family. My mom is a piece of shit, but one day I have hopes she'll go through her own rehab and all that shit. My grandmother is the happiest, healthiest relationship I've ever had. And as much as I want her to get it through her thick fucking skull how much danger she's in, I know it won't happen. I know she's a stubborn fucking ox like all of us. And this is one of those scenarios where everything is perfectly lining up to fuck me. And talking to my oldest brother, I think, is really the only option, because he's lived in like a big metro about 50 miles away from our place. He's lived there 15, 20 years at this point. He's 35. He moved there in like 2010 maybe, because he was in college. He dropped out and shit in like 2009 maybe, and then he moved down there in 2010, 2011 maybe, somewhere in there. Needed that. It's empty. Fuck. Oh shit. Let's see if I have any Coke Zero left. I do. Lovely. Tonight we dine like kings and queens. Yes. But, oh shit, they're shooting off like red ones. That's cool. Sure. But, this video has been very somber and negative so far, but, I'm sorry about that. I apologize. But, my oldest brother, he pretty accurately understands everything that's happened, and I remember as a kid hearing about how he lacked empathy, and to be frank, it was just stupid bullshit, because the people in my family were just pissed that he made good money and wouldn't give them drug money. That was pretty much it. But I remember hearing from a couple of people that I wouldn't expect, mainly my grandmother, about how, he's all for himself. He don't help out none. He don't ever come help out anywhere around here. He don't ever send money. And it's like, you know, I wouldn't send money to any of these fucking druggies. If I was, I'm a music major, so I'm not gonna be making good money. But you know, the guy. Oh God, what am I trying to say? The guy has worked hard for a good life, and I I think I need to know him better, and I need to. I think I need to have like a very frank sit down with him and tell him, hey, you have to be here because you know pretty much since he moved he's kept like separate from all the family drama, as you should. You know, nobody should have to fucking deal with this. And I've kind of recognized it recently within like last about a month. I've noticed like resentment in myself about it because you know we're very similar people, my oldest brother and me, and talking to him, it's very clear that we're very similar people mentally and just that kind of shit. And I think I have to have a very frank talk with him where I just tell him, hey, if I have to fucking deal with this, which I do have to deal with this because my poor fucking grandmother is about to live with a drug addict, I can't fucking have that. You know, I have to deal with this shit. And I think I'm gonna have to talk to my brother and just tell him if I have to fucking tolerate this for 3 years of undergrad, all of high school, all of middle school, hell, even fucking elementary school, I was keeping an eye on shit. It's just no, not elementary school. I forgot. Oh my god, my school system was fucking weird. By the way, it had like two sets of middle schools. Like I'm long graduated, so it doesn't fucking matter if you know my high school. I and we had elementary school that was kindergarten through fourth grade. Then we had the intermediate school that was fifth and sixth grade. Then we had the junior high that was seventh and eighth grade, and then high school was just ninth through 12th. And it was kind of a weird system. But you know, my dad, he passed away when I was in intermediate school, and he passed like the year before I he passed in the summer between me going to intermediate and junior high. And he when he died, it effectively left the entire weight of the family in my hands. And I've fought as hard as I fucking can for the last hell 9 years at this point to keep it together, to keep the people in my family from fucking falling into addiction and being just crazy fucking druggies who kill each other and stab each other and all kinds of shit. I've done my best to keep the fucking family together, but I can't fucking do it anymore. I oh god, I'm tearing up like a fucking pussy. um but I've been fighting like fucking hell for a fucking decade at this point to fix my family, and it's become increasingly clear that I have to choose between myself and my family. And I've seen both sides of it too, because you know, my dad, he spent his whole life fucking dealing with family bullshit, and hell, he died young. He was in his 50s. And I've seen the other side of it with my oldest brother. He turned 18, went to college, got the fuck out of here. And, you know, he lives a good life, lives in a downtown metro of a beautiful fucking city. And, oh, God. I'm sorry to get so emotional, but, I mean, you see the situation though, right? Like you see the spot I've been put in, and I think I'm gonna have to. God, I'm gonna have to go to my oldest brother and get help for this one, but I don't know that he will help because I mean to be frank, I'm not asking for like every fucking thing, but like weekly checkup. I mean is what I think I want, and Oh god, I just looked at the camera and saw a fucking tear rolling down like a Disney movie. I'm a fucking pussy. I needed that. But genuinely, I'm in a spot where my life is kind of fucked right now. I don't have a choice in anything really, because I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna not even ask. I'm gonna have to fucking tell him, like, you have to come here and fix this shit. And it's not fair to him. But it's equally, hell, if not more, not fair to me. I've been putting up with this shit since I was fucking 11. I have been effectively solely dealing with my mother's crippling addiction, with my brother's crippling addiction. I have effectively been abandoned to deal with that shit since I was a child. And I think I'm just going to have to be extremely gruff and frank with my brother about this, because, I've put up with this shit for a decade. You can just shut the fuck up and take some of it for what? How long is a master's program? 2 years? Not long. 2 years, fucking nothing compared to the fucking 9 years I've been taught. 10 years this year. I was 11 years old when my dad died, and I'll be turning 21. 21? Alright, that brought it all back. I'm happy now. Oh my fucking god. What's 9 plus 10? You stupid. But, God. My dad, he died June 22nd, 2017, week before my 12th birthday. And, I've dealt with this shit for almost a decade. This year will be 9 years. And I've worked so fucking hard for so much shit to improve my life, to build a better life for myself, for my family, for everyone around me. And I'm hitting a point where I desperately need help, and I feel like I am just completely fucked to receive it. God. I'm sorry. I don't want to fucking cry for the camera like a little bitch, but that's where I'm at in life. Is I have effectively no one I can trust. Even God, I have no one I can trust. The people I love are effectively nincompoops. Fucking yeah, and I'm one of them. They're fucking nincompoops and addicts, and I'm left in a spot where I have no one I can trust, and I have to have someone I can trust immensely to improve my life. Because if I can't find someone to keep an eye on my grandmother, to keep an eye on my brother, to keep an eye, less so on my mother, because, her addiction is very strange in that it caused a lot of abusive tendencies when I was a kid. And I think because of the harm she caused me, I'm a little more willing to kind of let her rot. That's a very mean thing to say, but, like, if you saw the fucking harm she put me in, if you saw the shit she did to me as a kid, you wouldn't fucking bat an eye at that. But, oh my god, I'm gonna blow my fucking nose into... Here, I've got a blanket. Oh my god. But, I'm at a point where I have nothing. I mean, that's a lie. I meant to say I have no one. I have no one that I can fully and deeply trust to get shit done in a way that I would. And it's not to say, like, you have to clean the toilets in the same way I would. You have to do this, do that. I mean, you just have to be here and make sure the family doesn't fucking implode. That's all I ask. And I get that it's a lot at times. I get that it occasionally means you have to go through insane bullshit. Even without my brother's issues, the amount of times I've had to deal with shit because of my mom drunk calling, because of the time she fucking drank too much alcohol, had to get her stomach pumped and stay in the ER for a fucking month. The amount of shit I have had to deal with. And I'm sure you can tell I have a lot of residual anger and a lot of residual pain and sadness and all sorts of shit from all this. And I think the thing that gets to me, the thing that enrages, pains me, fucking ruins my brain the most is the fact that I was such a young fucking child when I had to start dealing with this shit. I wasn't even in fucking pre-algebra when I had to start learning how to watch for mom when she's drunk, learning how to carry her to bed so she doesn't fucking break her neck, slipping and falling, covered her in her own fucking piss and slop while she's drunk, having to deal with my brother's fucking meth-riddled addiction brain, having to make sure he doesn't fucking murder everyone in my house. It's, you can hear the anger in me. You can fucking see it. You can feel it. And I, to picture just, like, if I were to Google, like, what the average 12, 11-year-old looked like, and to think that was me. That was me dealing with some of the most horrific fucking abuse you've seen in your goddamn life. That was me fucking dealing with that. And I was effectively left out to dry, left out to fucking rot by everyone in my life. And no, not many people were aware of the circumstances in my life. I can't blame anyone around me, really, but I can blame the two people who have been the fucking problem, the shit stirrers for the last decade, for the last 30 years. The only reason that my life hasn't been this shit before my dad died was because my dad was the one person in the family who could actually keep all this shit together, desperately tried. I can't imagine, because I'm sorry, I mentioned it earlier with, like, I can see both sides of it, where my dad, he spent his entire life trying to keep the family together. And, he had his own drug issues. He had cocaine use in his history and weed and all kinds of shit when he was younger. But to be frank, he was a fucking saint compared to the people in my family. I've heard a lot from my oldest brother in particular about how, oh, your dad, he wasn't the man you think he is. He's done this, he's done that. And, mostly just shit about, like, him doing cocaine. And, I can't imagine that was healthy to see for my oldest brother. But, like, by the time I was a kid, he had fucking repented. He had gone to rehab. He had done all the shit to fix his fucking life. And he spent the last 30 years of his life desperately trying to fix the lives of this family. And since he's died, I've effectively been left to fill his shoes, And it's... I can see, I know that the only reason he made it that far, made it to, kept our mother out of a fucking nonstop drinking binge for 30 years. Only reason he kept my brother from fucking doing crack as a fucking teenager is the only way he kept it all together. I don't know how he did it, because if he did, I'd fucking have it down. But I've spent my entire teenage years from literally, think about it, like, I was a fucking 11-year-old. I was, a week before I turned 12, but I was fucking 11. I was a child. Like, not like a 14-year-old where some horrible shit happens and they're old enough to kind of understand it. Not like a 18-year-old where some horrible shit happens and they're old enough to try and cope, but not quite. I mean, hell, even now as a 20-year-old, I just, I think I've finally hit the point where I can see that I am not strong enough, not smart enough, and no one is. No one human could possibly fucking tank all this shit. And I have no fucking idea how my dad did it. And now that he's gone, I'm left in a spot where I've had to deal with this shit for the last 10 years, for the last 9 years, and I can't do it anymore. For my own mental health, for my own life, for my own career, for my own mental health, for my own life, for everything I have to get the fuck out of here. I have to move on. I have to stop fixing the problems of people 10 and 30 years older than me. But they're my family, and I God. See, this is what I mean. I am in a fucking impossible ethical dilemma, and my options are sacrifice my entire future for the sake of a family that's barely loved me, that's barely given me fucking anything, or I can forsake them, leave them to their own devices, and the people that they are, the danger that these people are to themselves. I know that, not to fucking toot my own horn, but without me, these, my mom and brother especially, they would have been dead a long time ago. And I hate to, put that, suckle my own cock like that, but it's true. The amount of shit I have done for this family, it is genuinely immeasurable. The fucking tolerance I have had. I could be a fucking Buddhist monk at this point. But I'm left at a point where I know what I need to do for my own future, but I can't bring myself to do it. I And the problem is, if it was just my mother and brother, two of the most self-destructive fucking idiots, I'd be, I'd probably have lingering sadness and pain about it. I still do have sadness about my mother. I left her house 4 years ago. I moved in with my grandmother 4 years ago, and I know that doing that hurt my mother. I know that doing that led her addiction to go even further downhill. Some fucking how. Uh, going from the fucking abuse she put me through, the nightly drinking, fucking. I was thinking about it. From the day my dad died up until probably about my 17th birthday or so, for a period then of about 5 years, I slept maybe 2 hours a night, maybe one. I don't know how I survived. It definitely fucked up because it definitely fucked me up because that was like prime development years. Like that is when your brain develops the fucking most. Like look at a preteen and compare them to like an 18-year-old. You know how fucking different they are. And I know that my own development was frankly fucking ruined by those people. But I don't let it define me. I move on with my life. I try and build a career in music. I try and escape it, get past all that shit. And it's become increasingly clear that there doesn't seem to be a future for me where I can keep talking to my family, the parts that I love, keep up the good parts, and get rid of the bad parts. It's human, that's kind of the nature of human relationships is you can't take the good without the bad. But the bad in this scenario is a frankly deadly group of people fucking crying at gnawing at each other's throats. Like you can see how fucked up my brain is that I'm fucking up every third word like a bird. A bird is the word. Holy fuck. Yeah, Family Guy bit actually saved the day. Holy shit. But you know, oh god, I'm trying to piece together some sort of moral in all this, some sort of fucking solution, some anything. But there isn't one. That's the unfortunate fucking truth. Um, I can either I can either spend the next 30, 40 years desperately trying to keep the family together, hoping that the people I love will just not fall to addiction, not fucking die along the way, keeping an eye on the people, trying desperately to keep the family together. I can do that and probably die young, go out like my dad, fucking burnt out and miserable because of all the fucking shit I've had to deal with in my life. Or I can do like my oldest brother and leave it all behind, fucking abandon the people I love, and in exchange be granted a life of any career I want, making crazy money, escaping this shit. Fuck. Now, I'll be honest, I've been kind of manically searching for how do I put it? Not like an alternative, but yeah, an alternative actually. I've been almost near manically searching, desperate to find a way that I don't have to do this. Find a way that I don't have to be stuck with this dilemma, be stuck with uh, either family or, you know, just not be stuck with this horrible fucking dilemma that I've laid out for you. And the only options I've seen are I would spend like hours searching on Google, typing in names of colleges near me, master's program, masters in music performance, tuba, just desperately fucking searching for an alternative, a way out, if you will. And there's nothing. I could hypothetically, like, there are ways for me to keep going. There are, but they're all fucking miserable. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. I think I've laid everything bare to you all, and let me know if you have any fucking solution, any advice for me down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Oh god, I have to, I have to end it on a high note. I have to laugh. I have to fucking desperately try to ignore the fucking horrors that life has handed me. But thank you all for letting me vent, and if you watched this whole hour, I am so sorry. It's a fucking strong YouTube video, huh? Wonder what I should put in I'm gonna title this the most crazy emotional clickbait of all time. That'll be funny as fuck. But, yeah, this was an extremely cathartic video. It was hard. It was fucking hard to spill all of my fucking guts about this, but, I needed to, and it's good for me. And having my thoughts laid out in my own manner like this, I think it'll help me make a more objective decision in the upcoming future about what I need to do. And I still have a lot of time, but here's what's realistically going to happen. I'm going to be I'm going to work towards a master's degree in music performance. The way I'm going to do that is contacting universities that I am interested in, contacting the professors, reaching out for lessons. That's going to be within the next few weeks. I reach out to these professors. I say, hey, I love your studio. I love your performances. Can I come here and study? And reaching out for lessons. And it's going to be hard. But basically, I'm going to have to reach out for lessons and then audition next fall, submit an audition video, then have an in-person audition. That's general process. It's not one-to-one for everywhere, but it's a general process. And it's just, I'm pretty cooked. But I'm gonna have to get good at tuba, grind my way through all this shit, and then play tuba lessons for, fucking master's degree teacher, and then take lessons there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get a car, probably. That fucking sucks. I don't want to pay for that shit, but yeah, I'm probably gonna have to. That sucks, but hey, what can you do? But once I get a car, that'll a lot more solidify in my mind what I need to do. And I already know what I have to do. It's unfortunate that I have what am I trying to say? It's unfortunate, like, the hand that has been dealt to me, but I'm going to do what I've done for the last decade. I'm going to fight and fucking claw my way out of this shit. I know myself. Frankly, I've had to deal with significantly worse shit for the last decade, and I still, I ain't hear no bell, goddammit. I will fucking beat this shit. I'll fucking get through this. I will I will beat the shit out of addiction. I'm gonna find John Methamphetamine and cave his fucking skull in with a hammer. I'm gonna find John Liquor and then fucking beat the shit out of him. But genuinely, I'm sorry that this video has been so fucking downer, so fucking, so fucking, like negative, so just downer, so fucking awful. And this must be a terrible fucking viewing experience. I am so sorry. But, oh my god. And I'm sorry this video has been so fucking negative, but I want to I want to show you that at the end of it, I still have hope. I'm not going to stop fighting this shit. I am going to fucking kill it. I am going to win. And because I'm not going to give some piddly dink fucking street drug the satisfaction of ruining my life. I'm not going to give some fucking some fucking retard who couldn't raise me. I'm not going to give her the satisfaction of ruining my life. I'm not going to give some idiot brother who thinks because he failed at life everyone else has to. I'm not going to give him the fucking satisfaction. I'm not going to give any of these fucking cunts the satisfaction of ruining my life. I'm going to kick this shit in the fucking dick and win. I understand that this video has been very negative, but to be frank, I am going to escape this shit. There is no if, there is no, I'm gonna have to tolerate this, and I'm gonna have to barely scrape by. No. I am going to stomp the fucking dick out of, I'm sorry for talking like a Hazbin Hotel character in this, by the way, sorry. But, I'm going to stomp the living shit out of all of this. I am going to win. And there ain't no fucking if, ands, buts, whatever the hell about it. I am going to beat the shit out of these problems. And that's really, life is hard. Emotional shit is hard. But you just have to be like me. not to, my own shit or anything. But, like, you have to have that. You have to have that ability to just say fuck you to everything and win. And I'm glad that even after a decade of, frankly, spending it just, oh god, I haven't felt safe effectively ever, and that's not going to stop me, It's hard, it's, one day I'll be in therapy about it type shit, but I'm here now, I'm going to fight this fucking shit to the end, and I'm not going to let it stop me. Thank you for watching this, and sorry for crying on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye.